To begin, you need an acrylic mold. The mold I'm using here is 5 by 5 by 8 cm and 35 ply cotton wick. You can create cloud candles using either pure blended wax, pure soy wax, or a combination of 50% container soy wax and 50% white beeswax. For a reference, I'm using a mixture of container soy wax and white beeswax here. To prevent the wax from overheating, start by melting the high melting point white beeswax over medium heat. Thread the wick and seal the hole with rubbers. Then add the container soy wax and stir it into the wax liquid. Continue melting over medium-low heat. Once there's only 1/3 of unmelted wax left in the pot, turn off the hot plate and remove the melting pot. Stir the wax with a stainless steel spoon to melt the remaining wax using the residual heat. At around 60 degrees Celsius, the wax will start to solidify. Scrape off the solidified wax from the sides of the pot and stir it into the wax liquid to speed up the solidification process. Stir for around 5 to 8 minutes to achieve a smooth and fine wax paste. Therefore, it's important to avoid overheating the wax initially, as this would prolong the making process. To achieve a flawless and smooth surface for the cloud candle, please ensure that the state of the wax paste is semi-liquid, smooth, and fine. If the wax paste is too dry, it results in caking or clumps on the candle surface. Use the back of the long spoon to scoop up the wax paste and randomly spread it on the walls of the mold. Make the white cloud thicker and cover a slightly larger area than desired, because the filling wax poured in later will melt the edges. If you notice that the wax paste is drying out during this process, you can use a heat gun to melt it and stir it again until it reaches a semi-liquid and smooth consistency. You can see that the white clouds are thick. Once you finish the white clouds, reheat the wax liquid and start a dyeing process. Dip or touch a skewer into a candle dye and stir it into the wax liquid. Drop the wax onto a piece of white paper to confirm the color. The demonstrated color here is grayish blue, achieved by mixing blue and black candle dye. You can dye the wax according to your preference, such as pink, purple, orange, and yellow. After a dyeing process, reheat the wax liquid to a temperature of 90 degrees Celsius. Pour it into the mold to a depth of 1 cm. And immediately pour it out. Repeat this process several times on each side of the mold to melt the edges of the clouds and create a more natural effect. At the same time, coat the clouds with a layer of wax around 3 mm thick to prevent them from melting. Reheat the wax liquid. When it reaches 75 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius, add 5% candle fragrance oil and stir evenly. Fill the mold when it cools down to 70 degrees Celsius. Secure the wick and wait for it to solidify. After about 1 hour, the candle is partially solidified, and you may notice some unevenness or sinkholes at the bottom. This is a normal result of the wax expanding and contracting. Use a heat gun to melt the surface and fill them with more melted wax. Another option is to add a new layer of wax to cover the hollows. Then keep waiting until the candle is completely solidified. You can use the spoon handle to scoop up the wax paste and apply it onto the candle surface, forming a decorated design resembling ocean waves. Demold the candles. Remove the rubbers. Twist the mold by hands as if raining the tower. You can lightly tap the candle against the table or the ground to help the candle separate from the mold as much as possible.